think that's going.
There we
Do
go.
I have everything I need to paint this thing? Because my whole idea is I've got this, you know, D&D mug.
The mugs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just painting the one tonight. Hopefully, maybe we'll see what happens. The other one's not primed, so I also don't think I have the paints I want for it. And so it's just something for me to do while I test this out. And so
Yeah.
there's something interesting on screen. But I saw you got a Project FDL box in the mail.
I do.
Um, so
I
that will
came
be
in today, so I'm like, oh
interesting.
hey, I can do this on stream.
Yeah.
If that's all right with you, of course.
Oh, of course. Okay. I'm just gonna pop something in chat. Um. Uh, um.
Hopefully, get my gecko properly working tonight as well.
See, I was on the fence. I was about to get a gecko kit, and then yesterday the Heath Pants G-Dop lever gun beta dropped, so I picked up that
Oh yeah, I got
instead.
that too.
So that's my next project because I couldn't resist that. um,
Yeah, I gotta reprint everything so it's all printed by me before I could do a video on it.
mhm.
Similar to what I did with the fly point pistol.
Yeah, I've.
But I've got the blaster. I just need to print everything,
Mhm.
disassemble it, and then assemble it correctly. Because I ordered the lever action rifle uh, beta, which I've been messing around with. It's been fun.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I've way before I thought about being a YouTuber or anything. I saw that the first prototype and just was like, I have a severe need.
That was like years ago.
Yeah, I guess it was what, a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. Yeah.
Oh, well, at least when Drag did his video on it, wasn't that like 2 End Wars ago or something?
Oh gosh, I don't even know, man.
It was a long time
Yeah.
ago, or it just feels like a long time ago because it was pre-COVID.
Oh right.
Um,
Oh hey, our audio is on.
oh, good.
Hey,
That
I'm trying
reminds me. When
figuring
I
this
hop
stuff
on,
out. You know
when I
what?
hop on
I'm
the
okay.
stream,
Can I
when
just
when
turn
I
on?
hop on the stream, you can make me a mod that way.
You're gonna have to
In
help me
case
do
anything.
that. I'm gonna
I've not
go
had a
ahead and just
situation
turn on
where,
the cameras
huh?
because people can hear us. I just turned on the cameras and we're gonna just see what happens. So hi
Yeah.
guys. I'm figuring this out, obviously.
I get the easy part this time. I get to just
Yes,
sit back and talk.
yes. Point out when I might be screwing up.
Uh huh.
Just sort my paints. Um, Yay! Welcome to everyone who's here. This is my first YouTube live stream. So welcome. If anyone's new to my channel, I do nerfy things and occasionally talk about other things. So we're just hanging out tonight, and I have this mimic mug to paint. And yeah, we will probably be talking a lot of Nerf as I sort paints that I may or may not need. I don't think I need any of that. I'm gonna need that eventually. I definitely need some beige. Always need some beige.
We're getting a little bit of lag on my video, but that might just be going through Zoom and into Streamlabs.
Yeah,
So we'll see how that affects everything.
yeah,
As long as the audio's not too laggy, it should be fine. But my video is a little bit laggy.
okay.
At least on the stream I'm watching.
Yeah, you're a little frame ratey, but not really sure what
Moving
I
at
could
about
do
5 frames a second.
Yeah. Um. So yeah,
That's
wow,
all right.
5 viewers already. I guess that might include you once, but still, that's more than any of my other streams.
It's still pretty good. I mean, I
Uh,
usually have myself in all of my streams because I'm usually watching that on some. I have that on another device while I stream from everything else. I just find it easier.
Yeah, well, the stream's running on my laptop, and this is my phone camera here, so I don't really have another device to use. It's a lot of paints. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I've got my phone camera as well.
Yeah. Caleb, this I usually print at 0.12 layer height, just because it's fancy. Although I found this is a dice tower I painted up over the weekend. It paints up real nicely with just a simple base coat of spray paint, and you can't really see the layer lines. So I'm excited to see how this turns out. And for reference, here's one that is not base coated yet. That you can kind of see the layer lines in it, but yeah. So I guess
Don't mind me just cleaning up my desk a little bit.
Figured out the orientation for printing the lever gun. Kind of. I haven't really started mine. Mostly because I don't have the colors of filament I want to use right now.
I hear you on that one.
Yeah, so I'm printing out some of like the internal parts that I know aren't visible. I have a fresh spool of white, so I'm just doing that. Yeah, so every now and then I might duck off for a second just to look at my printer and make sure it's not destroying itself again.
What printer are you using?
I just have an Ender 3, so that's kind of
okay.
my...
It's not too bad.
No, I've been trying to print the... I think it's the spring rest part. I'm on like my third or fourth try just because this one corner keeps lifting.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah. Alright, so this is just because I'm about to start working. This is a failed print, actually, of one of this guy's, whose name I should really have looked up pre-stream. If y'all want to know about these, I'll go on the internet and poke and find a link, and I'll put it in chat. This is one of his free designs that's just like a single can-sized mug. But for some reason, my file corrupted and my printer decided to stop here. But I just wanted it as a tester. I based it in the same color as this guy, and as especially on his back, he needs to look like wood. I'm just going to do a little testing with some dry brushing here. See what happens. Yeah. Excuse my slapping of paint.
This is your stream, so I don't want to interrupt anything of yours. So whenever you'd like me to open the box, I can.
Actually, let's just do that now. While I test this out, I want to see what's in the box. Let me make you bigger so we can see you.
Good. Really emphasize how laggy it is.
Yes. Well,
no,
at least
it's fine.
when you hold it up, we can see you. Something.
Alright.
No, I print on just plain glass. It tends to work fine for me, but I get problems on occasion.
Alright. Pair of protection. And obviously the new bag with the FTO basic on it, which is green. I have a white one around here somewhere that was part of my FTO 3. And then we've got a bag of extra.
Oh no!
Piece is actually really useful. So that's actually. And I've got some very nice stickers. I've got a bunch of. Oh, okay. So I actually already have an FTO patch But these are the fancy bits. I got 2 new stickers. I got a holographic Project FDL sticker and the FDL basic stickers. These will be going on my blaster case with all my other stickers. So that's actually really useful to have. Thank you note, which now has the FDL 1, 2, and 3 on it. So just saying, share it. So let's open up the green bag, shall we? Oh man, I was home when the postman came and dropped it off. Literally, I look out the window and I just see him fling it from like across the yard onto the front porch. I'm like, well, here's hoping that thing's packaged well, because that just got thrown quite a bit.
Man,
Plus side is there is a whole bunch of bubble wrap on this thing.
Well, that's a little reassuring.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm liking the look at this. It's very similar to my base coat, but it's gonna be interesting. Do I want an in between or do I want to just go straight? Let's go straight to this beige and see what happens. And I'm sorry for everyone watching. I talk to myself when I do things, so that's gonna be happening.
All right. Oh, that's comfy. That's very comfy. I like that. Grab my battery in a second. That's comfy. That's just the main thing I'm noticing. This thing is extremely comfy. Kind of nice too. That just falls right out. That's awesome. Very nice. Yeah, this is my FDL basic I ordered since Project FDL is pretty much going to be not around for too much longer. I'm like, all right, I need to order an FDL basic now. So, yeah, pretty much. It goes down here. I think no, it does go down here. Oh, I know this. Okay, so you got 2 thumbhole twist things. One with the rear there. This is my first time holding this in my hand, so I might not know everything about it. Oh, that's okay. Okay, I see it. It just popped up there. I just got to feed that down there. It's nice that there's extra space for. Oh, that's gonna be annoying to attach though. I just imagine this is going to be rather annoying to attach a LiPo to, because it's got the. Unless I can try to. Oh, hold on, let me feed it a little bit more. Yeah, it doesn't. It's going to be slightly annoying. Like, I'm going to be able to deal with it. It's fine, but like, it is still minorly annoying that the XT60 connector doesn't come all the way out.
Boom. Like,
it's resting like halfway in the grip, so the XT60 only comes out about this far.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to like plug it in while it's inside there. That's minorly annoying.
Yeah, I think that's why I have my Hurricane set up, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. The XT60.
Yeah, not being whenever I set up my XT60s, I always make sure that they can be outside the blaster.
Yeah.
3D printed secondary for the Caliburn.
Secondary or sidearm?
I'm a
there's a difference to me. I might be weird.
Well, for either option, in my opinion, it shouldn't be something that uses the same, not exactly ammo type, but that uses the same ammo that uses the same magazine pretty much. Like, I don't recommend running if you're running Talons in your primary, I recommend something else for your secondary, because literally in that case, it's just a fancy holster. I actually have an example of this exact thing, to where I ran out of mags with my FDL3, so I pulled out my grass snake and started firing. I'm like, wait, what am I doing? I just took out the mag out of my FDL3, out of my grass snake, threw it in my FDL3, which pretty much made my grass snake kind of pointless. Despite loving how much, despite how much I love my grass snake, it's just like it ended up being pointless when I'm running a FDL3 that also uses talons. So if you're going to run a sidearm or a secondary, in my opinion, it should be something that doesn't utilize the same mag system. Like I have my fly point pistol, which has its own style of mags. I mean, again, it's still like the fly point. It's still like the grass snake, where it's a flywheel mag-fed pistol, but at least it doesn't use the same exact mags. That's just my, I guess, ideology on it.
I agree that it shouldn't use the same magazine, but I think for a sidearm, your primary and your sidearm should be the same ammo type, so it's easy to scavenge for both. If you're looking for a secondary, it should be something that does something different. And often, when it comes to sidearms, if I'm running a Springer as a primary, I'll run a flywheel sidearm, or if I'm running a flywheel primary, I'll run a Springer sidearm, as they have different use cases. That's the basic thing. I should did a video on sidearms forever ago. I should do one on like additional blasters in the loadout.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do a nice loadout video. I just haven't found a good format that I want to do it in. Oh, also, I did also order the holster plate for my FDL3, since I have the holster leg holster.
Yeah.
I went ahead and ordered that as well, because the whole goal for this is to run it as a sidearm / secondary.
Yeah. I'm liking the way that's looking. Do I start on the...
For flywheel sidearm. I mean, I still really think the Grass Snake is an excellent sidearm.
I don't have much experience with them. I like the Worker Hurricane, especially with the fast reload magazine videos on my channel. I don't have much experience with them. I did a Grass Snake V2, and I don't love it. I wish the battery door stayed on better.
If you saw our I'm not sure. That's what you said. You only popped it for a little bit. And the tier list I did with Quinn from CR Nerf, we both agreed that the Grass Snake V2 was worse than the Grass Snake V1.
Yeah, the only thing I like is it has a magazine release, so you can gravity drop from a... Again, it goes
I had
to
a weak spring.
How I use sidearms, but...
I had a weak spring in mine, but it was like strong enough to hold it in place. However, if I whipped it really fast, the mag would shoot it off, which was hilarious, and I actually got pretty good at just whipping the magazine out of the Grass Snake when I wanted to reload. So it was it was a build flaw of mine that I ended up using to my advantage, pretty much.
It's a surprise feature.
It's not a flaw, it's a feature.
Yeah, I want to build a Devil Z concept pistol. I like how compact it looks, and the pusher being a swing arm is very interesting.
Yeah.
But that I don't, like I said, I don't have a whole lot of experience with flywheel sidearms.
And so I built a Grass Snake. I attempted to build a Pigeon, but that thing was a pain to deal with. I don't. It's unnecessarily big. It didn't have to be that big.
Yeah, the Pigeon is very large.
And most of my complaints come to having to print it, not for like its performance or anything. Yeah. Having to print it and build it and everything, it was just a pain.
Yeah, it's a lot of plastic that, you
know. That's just me though. I do not recommend any cylinder fed sidearm. They're just too finicky. As cool as they are finicky.
Yeah, cylinder fed flywheels. My favorite sidearm's the Sweet Revenge. It probably will be for a long time.
It's a good one.
It's just so reliable, and I mean, it's easy to reload, and it's just really hard to replace, especially for HVZ, which if anyone, I'm assuming people who are here watch my content, I like HVZ and I talk about HVZ a lot because it's the game I like to play. It's just hard to beat a good hammer shot or a good sweet revenge.
See, I have played HVZ twice.
I mean,
I really want to play it some more, but as of now, I still prefer PvP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I've played in 4 HVZs, including one End War, and the other 2 were not like week-long games, or the other 3 were not week-long games. They were little, single mission, 20-minute, half-hour games.
Right.
Because when your high school is on the same campus as a college, you do weird things. And because of COVID, I haven't gotten to start a game here like I want to. So, although I haven't been to many wars either. So, I feel like everyone who watches my content should take it with a grain of salt because I do a lot of bedroom practice and a lot of building and modding, but not a lot of wars.
Yeah, I last year. Well, luckily, us on the East Coast have actually had lower COVID numbers, or at least when we were playing over summer.
Yeah,
we were able to play with masks on and social distancing. But I think I was attending 4 different groups near the end of the season last year. They had the Maryland Nerf Herders, which is the group I run. There's Southern Maryland House of Nerf that I attend. Then there's the EP Nerf Club in West Virginia and the United Nerf Ops group. Well, the United Nerf Ops runs from like New York through New Jersey, but I play at their New Jersey games. It's only like 3 hours away from me, so it's not too bad. Oh, by the way, Jack Wade wants to know what you think of the Lepus.
Lepus, help me out here.
It's the MagFed full auto flywheel blaster that's like very minimalistic. It looks like a T.
It's interesting. Sorry, I'm making it small again.
You're fine.
I think, honestly, who was it who did that? Honestly, I think its most potential is as a master key, which is weird, but its small size. Honestly, I think undermounting it as a foregrip, as like a panic button, is the best use for that because it's a little. I mean, I haven't got my hands on one, but it's a little small to holster.
Well, the grip is in the middle of the blaster.
Right.
I mean, in my opinion, the blaster is a perfect example of function over form.
Yes.
It does what it does. It does well.
Yes.
It's just not a very pretty blaster.
No. It's kind of like every now and then I see something on Thingiverse or something that's like, here's the core mechanism for something. Go make it pretty. I feel like that's what the Lepus is. It's like,
right.
This thing works amazingly, but leaves a lot to be desired for the human hand and for end user ability. And I think it again would makes a wonderful master key, especially for games with higher FPS caps that sometimes force closer range engagements. Some Australian guy who I'm blanking on the name, but he does a lot of cool HPA builds, and he built a bull pump HPA primary with a Lepus built in. Who?
Boba?
I don't know. Maybe?
BOBBA? I know who you're talking about. There's only a handful of Australian guys that have YouTube channels.
Yeah.
I was pretty sure it wasn't Bradley Phillips or Make Test Battle.
No, it was not. It was not either one of them. I think he's Australian. He might be British. I feel like an ignorant American now.
No. I think you're right. No, he is. I am fairly certain he's Australian. The guy you're talking to.
Yeah. All right. How's that?
Fairly certain.
Not very visible on camera. It is not very visible on camera.
No, I understand that completely. Whenever I'm trying to mod things on camera, I'm constantly like building off camera. I'm like, nope, put it back on camera.
Well, I think you're like me. You work by your chest and here where you're in front of your face.
Yes.
But just like I just did a whole deep coat of dry brushing of a second brown on this thing. It is barely visible on camera, but it's looking great in person.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna hit it with some beige, and that will actually begin to look good.
Welcome to the live stream.
Everybody, who else here? I don't know who else here. I have not been looking at chat. And you said something about making you an admin. How do I do?
Oh, here, hold on. Let me try something in chat.
Yeah. Do I need
you
to go to
click
YouTube
on me and make me a mod
in Streamlabs or YouTube?
I don't know. Well, I don't know about on Streamlabs, but on YouTube you can do it.
YouTube. Okay. Do I have this open? I do have this open.
I didn't think about that when you asked.
Yeah. How? Come on. There's the 3-dot thing, and here we go. Add moderator. There we go. Yay, that's it.
Just in case, again, I don't expect anything to happen on chat. I think the worst that happened for me was not my last stream, not my the last stream I did, but the one before that. I had somebody spamming, but they stopped before. Trip Miller is my moderator.
Oh, great. Yeah,
I always see
that makes
it's just useful to have in case something does happen.
Yeah.
So Bam NYC is saying hi.
Hey Bam. Welcome.
He's one of the guys I play with up in New Jersey.
Yeah, I really would love to get to more wars, but it's kind of a hazard of my current profession situation. I'm a for those of you who do not know, I think this has come up before in Boomstick right now. I'm a dance performance major at a school here in North Carolina, specifically for classical ballet, and so my Saturdays are forfeit. My Saturdays usually are forfeit for rehearsals. This year, because of studio space requirements, they're forfeit for classes and rehearsals. So wars don't really happen for me. There are more wars I have seen the posts for, put on my calendar, plan to go, and then go, dang it, I have rehearsal, and just not been able to go. There's more of those than wars I have gotten to go to.
Bam, in order to answer to your question,
yes.
Hound is working on a cup for D&D. I am working on the Gecko, trying to get his performance up. Because right now it's only hitting 100 FPS with a 12 kilogram spring, which is very low.
Yeah, you should get more with a 12. That's
kind
of sad.
I'm not getting a good seal. I'm trying to figure out where the leak is coming from.
Yeah, I need to do the same kind of maintenance on my flak because I think I can get more than 100 FPS out of it.
You're only getting 100 FPS out of your flat? You have the rifle one, right?
No, I built the half dart one, and I've been playing online HVZ with it and doing very well.
So you're only getting 100 FPS with your flak?
With 3 bands on it.
Oh, 3 bands. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm getting 150 with 4 bands.
4?
Yeah.
I feel like I should get about 120 with.
I would think.
Given how massive the plunger is. So, yeah, I'll probably, maybe Friday, if you stream on Friday, I'll sit down with my flak and, try to fix the seal. So that thing has a lot of gaps in it that need to be addressed.
The hard part is figuring out where the leak is coming from. Like, I think it's coming from my pusher. I think that's where my leak is coming from at this moment.
Yeah.
luckily the gecko's not too hard to get in and out of. I mean, it's not a teardown system, so it takes me a couple minutes to actually get inside of it. But like, well, for one, at least they're not like Phillips head screws or anything that I'm just constantly going in and out of that are going to get stripped out over time. I have to use an Allen key.
Right.
For these, which I prefer because again, I'm not going to strip these out like I would do with like a Phillips head.
Yeah.
Need to open.
Yeah. And the gecko's got the heat-seated brass inserts, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So you don't have to worry.
Wonderful.
About... Yeah.
I've never done them before, but they are fantastic.
Yeah. I just got a new soldering iron. One, because mine decided to melt itself. That was over the summer. I have not done flywheel builds recently. Actually, that was before my YouTube channel started. Wow, because that was finishing up the blaster that became my first video. But I just got a new soldering iron that had temperature control on it, purposefully so I can do brass inserts, because I've got a feeling they're going to be very popular in years to come.
They're nice. Honestly, this is the first time I've used one. Mm-hmm. It's really nice.
He's coming to life.
I actually had the zinc hardware sitting in my closet right now. The main reason I haven't built the zinc is because the amount of problems people have been having with building them. I decided to wait until a few more people had actually gotten theirs built before building one myself. There's been a lot of tolerance issues with the zinc for people building them on their own. So that is why I chose the Gecko over the zinc. However, the Gecko is giving me problems as well. So, and I just don't think that you need a 200 FPS sidearm. I just think that's overkill.
No, that is
I feel like this
overkill.
for a Springer sidearm or secondary, whatever you want to call it. I'm assuming you really don't need it to be high powered. It should be a situation to where it's like I don't have a chance to change out mags, or I'm topping off mags, and I just need something to defend myself very quickly.
Right. It's oh crap! I don't have time to reload.
Yeah.
All right. So we're trying to get a wood look. What's everybody think? It's kind of dark. Might do a few more passes of the lighter.
That's pretty good. I like it. It's very Evil Dead-esque.
Yeah, well, it's a mimic, which is one of my favorite creatures. Yeah, I saw a guy on Etsy or Instagram or something who was doing like hand sculpted, like clay mugs that were like food safe and everything that were mimics. And then I saw this one, which was printable for a soda can. And I was like, all right, I'm making one.
Yeah, because you don't want to use you don't want to eat or drink off of filament.
Right.
Not because it's hazardous, like because PLA is not hazardous. However, you can't clean it properly. Like germs and stuff will get stuck into like the little tiny grooves. Mm-hmm. You can't clean PLA properly, so you're not going to be able to sanitize something like that. So it's just going to eventually be
very, very gross.
Yes.
Yeah. But this is a cool in between. I am gonna do some more beige through this guy. Try to get. There's a good chance that my players in D&D, if anyone cares about this, are all actors or have or theater kids, so we have a lot of fun, but they're stereotypical D&D players. They latch on to the randomest things.
Yeah.
So this guy might end up being a recurring NPC just because he will sit on my table, and that's the kind of players I have.
Right?
Like it has nothing to do with me or the mug. It's just, hey, you have this funny thing. Bring him back
Yeah.
every session.
It's like my character. My character found something from a previous D&D session. I brought this character in from another D&D group per se. It's the same DM, but a different campaign group that kind of fell apart. So
Okay.
I just ended up bringing in the same character because I really liked him.
That's awesome.
And there was something that my character found and got a little obsessed with in the previous campaign.
Mhm.
He decided to bring that back. And now my character's hallucinating and seeing it everywhere.
Oh, that's amazing.
So that's fun.
Oh, that is the best outcome you could ever wish for.
Right? Yeah, it's getting interesting. I'm just happy. Like we finally got to a spot in the story where we can start like delving into our characters' backstories a little bit more.
Yeah.
And that's always a great part of when you get to that part in D&D where you've been around long enough to where you can start introducing things from characters' backstories and introducing them into the main campaign.
That's great. I'm scared. I've been playing. I've gotten to play a lot of D&D thanks to COVID. My girlfriend started DMing. That's who this mug is for. By the way, she loves tieflings and dragonborn, so dragony mug with gold on top.
That character's a dragonborn.
Yeah. I'm an obsessive variant human player, so the last character, my little brother started a game and then school happened. I was like, okay, screw it. I'm playing a gnome. I can't play variant human again.
I'm a gnome.
But for her game, she has created this. Is she here? I don't know if she's here. I can't see who's on. She created the most incredible world ever, and is constantly writing more. But the basis of her pantheon is there's 4 gods, 4 like high gods, and they all have like smaller bitch gods. Except for one who's like the god of like storms and tempests, and he's like this big jealous guy. And so I said, you know what? I'm gonna play a paladin of that god.
That's amazing.
And she said, okay, you're gonna have a panic attack every session, and I have.
Fantastic.
She's got this setup where basically this all-powerful queen has declared that all but one of the gods are illegal and do not exist. She also has created this thing, I think she calls it astral possession, where gods can inform or take over a mortal's body if they focus their power. And given that this god only has 1 follower, guess who pops that off about every 2 seconds?
That's amazing.
And it's not just like you hear a voice back in your head. It's like, no, your eyes start glowing and wind starts whipping around. Your hair begins to blow. It's like, oh no.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. And we're like 7 or 8 sessions in. We're level 5. I think we started at level 3. I'm a ranger paladin multi-class, so I don't really have a bunch of paladin stuff, and it's so much fun.
Right.
That's
amazing.
She's amazing. But gosh, she loves giving people heart attacks, man. Whew, it's bad. Okay, any new nerfy stuff? Thought that we went on a D&D tangent. We are nerf-based YouTubers. I don't see anything new in chat.
Nah, I mean, just more talk about the zinc and the problems it's faced.
The problem I've seen with the gecko is the catch breaking.
Really?
I think CR covered that in one of his videos. I'm liking the way this wood looks. I can always come back and add more. I think Seaguard covered that in their overview video. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I remember seeing it. I'm just trying to remember.
Yeah. I missed the lip of the mug.
I've seen pictures and I saw Drax video. I'm not a big fan of brass just because of how fragile it is. Like, it gets you good performance. It's one wrong move and the brass getting any kind of bent is now ruined. The whole thing.
Yeah, I've been following that project a little bit on the designer's Instagram, and it looks really cool, but it also looks like you could break it completely on accident. It doesn't look very sturdy.
Very minimalistic, yeah. And like I don't think it's a bad blaster. It's just I'm not a fan of brass or that much brass. Yeah. And again, brass is useful. People do their caliburns in brass.
Yeah. I'm gonna rebuild my super spamp with a brass barrel. Like, it's valid, but maybe a little iffy.
That's my image. It's like I don't think it's a bad blaster. I think it's a lot of brass.
Yeah.
And I would give you a shout out if I could figure out how to pronounce your name. I'm not good with names.
Yeah, me neither. This is not the best team up for names, but thanks for dropping by.
Shout out to the Philippines. Shout out to the Philippines.
Yeah.
I apologize. As somebody who has a name that gets mispronounced all the time, I'm just not going to attempt it. Still working on the
tip when
making
anybody out there. If you need something to look metallic, base it in black. It's magic.
I mean, pretty much. Most times I've painted things, I've always based it in black, just because even if you're painting in white, you're still got or a bright color, it's still better to base it in blacks just to keep anything else from shining through.
Yeah. And that's where
my experience.
Yeah. For this, I printed it in black, and then based it in where's that bag of paint? This stuff, which is just a dark greenish brown from Krylon.
Mm-hmm.
To be a base for the wood, and I'm just now going back over the metal bands and stuff in black because it is straight magic. Surprisingly enough, my older brother, who's what does he do? He's a designer, industrial designer, I think is his title. When he was in school in like a modeling class, he had to basically the assignment was to make a relic. So he built like an EVA foam like Greek style helmet.
Oh, okay.
And he spray painted it black, and his teacher came over and flipped out. He's like, I thought you were going for bronze, and he's like, give me a second, wait on it. his teacher was amazed. It was so funny.
Nice.
Wow, you're a modeling teacher, and that's a trick you didn't know? Interesting.
Okay, back to seeing what I did. Like, I added more Teflon tape to the actual plunger tube and the plunger tube and the plunger rod, seeing if that helps anything. I also took out the barrel, took off the hot glue, and replaced that with E-tape. So hopefully that does some things, and we'll have to see how that goes from there. Okay. Just screw everything back together. So if I can just get what is the best kit for the... So I want to know what the best kit for the stripe is.
Yes. The one you like the look of.
It's very
Or
true.
even better, do what I did and use 5.
I mean, honestly, my favorite has still just been the it's not really a kit per se. It's just the Magnus Master Key thing that like all the gap fillers.
I need to
They're
build one
going
of
with
those.
that.
Yes, totally.
Like that's what I like. I like one of those.
Yeah. I mean, the auxiliary logo's in my logo. I should have built one of those when they came out, and I just haven't. Um, no, I like that kit a lot. I like how seamlessly it blends the strife into the retaliator barrel because the geometry there doesn't really naturally line up.
Yeah.
So for it to blend those two together so nice and clean, that is great.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree. If you were going to use one kit, I would probably go that route.
And again, it's not really much of a kit. It's more just. I mean, it's hard to say.
Well, it gives you that full strifle feel, and adds some serious functionality with the master key. So
yeah,
I give it full props.
Oh yeah, no, I love it. Like I said, if I still used actual Nerf blasters, I might be tempted.
Yeah.
I haven't used again aside from the knockout.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the only official Nerf blaster that I use. And again, it's not even like I'm using the knockout. I'm using the kits that you attach to it.
Yeah.
like the Meeker kits that are on it. I'm gonna redo the Teflon tape on my pusher. Let's see if that helps some.
Did you see the Raven kit the guy who did the Strife kit put out recently?
I did. I really like it.
I'm kind of on the fence personally. I think it's a little chunky, but I don't think it's bad.
I mean, it's adding a lot of barrel drag, but I'm okay. I'm gonna change that over here, just in case.
Yes, the Campbell Nerf Works Strifle. Yeah, highly recommend that one. Or again, just troll whatever websites you use to source your Nerf products, or your Nerf stuff, Thingiverse, Worker Kit, whatever. And if there's bits you like here and there, mash them together.
Yeah.
If you want a good example of this after the stream, go find the oldest video on my channel of what is my personal Strifo Mark II.
I like that. After the stream.
After the stream.
Go check that out. Yeah. I mean, no, I did that too. I've done that too. It's like, hey, after the stream, go do this.
Yeah. Like, stick around, keep hanging out, don't leave me alone.
Right, not right now.
Go check out my stuff.
After the stream.
Yeah. I will probably, there's features on that build I want to add. And when I get around to doing those, I mean, that thing hasn't been to a war yet, so I don't really feel like, cracking it open and working on it because I don't know what's going to break.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe next year if I can get to some wars this spring and summer, I'll do a revision on it and do a better quality video on that build. Because I really like it. It's a solenoid HVZ based select fire strife. Loads of fun. Quick swap master keys, whole 9 yards. I want to take it to a war so bad. Honestly, the master keys is what I think is going to break first.
The nice thing about wars is there's a huge amount of variety, just in the FPS, with wars that range from like 130 to 150 to 200 to 250. And it really changes the game. Every time you go up to one of those levels, it really changes the game.
Right.
And how to play.
Yeah. Totally, and that's one of the reasons I want to get to more wars is actually something I realized pre lever gun release.
Hmm.
I actually have it printed out. I'm just waiting for a box from Out of Darts with my flywheels and my motors. It was right after I got my chronograph. I'm like, the only thing that hits over 120 FPS on my wall is my Caliburn. I need to fix this. So actually, oh, it's right here. Sneak peek time. I have. Some of you on Facebook might have seen this because I was asking for motor suggestions. A Griffin, finally, because
Nice.
trigger is great.
Now you have to forgive me. I'm watching the live stream, so it hasn't popped up on screen yet.
You're good.
I'll give you a better compliment once I actually see it.
Yeah, it's good.
There it is. Okay, yeah. I did see that. That looks really nice.
Yeah. I was kind of on the fence about it, but the logos in the grip panels came out wonderful.
Oh man, that looks. Those are some really clean logos in a 3D printed part. That's really clean.
Well, they're printed, and then I went back through with I think just a paint marker and like 20 coats to make them white.
Okay.
Because I didn't want them to dig into my hand, so I made them just flush with the regular like rise section of the grip scale.
Yeah.
In that way, doesn't impact comfort at all, but it's branded.
There you go.
Which, yeah, so I'm doing a daybreak setup.
Mm-hmm.
Hoping to hit 170, because that's the Carolina Nerf cap is like 175.
Oh, okay. It's like, because you're in North Carolina, right?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. Once they actually start having wars again, you gotta get out to the Raleigh youth group. I don't know how close they are to you, but they're a really good group of people out there.
Yeah, I've been to one of their events. They're great people. I've been to I think just one of their events. I might have been to two. Raleigh's like a 2-hour drive worst, I think, from here.
Oh, that's not bad.
So yeah, when North Carolina can fully open back up again.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, because we haven't gotten to do anything like this summer because Performing Arts World is still shut down.
Yeah.
I was hoping there would be wars because I could actually go, but then there wasn't, and so I didn't. Because that's the other thing is I usually, go out of town to some random place for like 2 weeks out of the summer to train.
Mm-hmm.
Say random place. Usually it's New York. It's not New York this summer. So yeah. So mid war season, leaving town with none of my gear. One more thing. This is not on screen at all. Okay, I'm gonna move my camera because none of this is getting on camera.
I mean, at this point, you might as well just drop your camera.
Okay, I'm just gonna shift the tripod like there, and you're gonna see off the table on my couch, but you might actually see what I'm painting.
Worn out.
Hey, Interstellar, welcome in. We are, I'm painting a Mimic mug because why not? I think Boomstick's still working on his Gecko?
Gecko.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
I'm starting to drive me a little crazy.
Getting any better performance out of it?
Well, I'll let you know as soon as I can get my chronograph to read.
Oh.
That's always a great start.
Yeah.
So I turn it off and turn it back on again. Interesting. Wonder if it's too dark. I've got the light kit for it.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta look up what error 2 means.
Yeah, I'll go back through them and hit.
So it's just weird because it's starting with error 2. Like I'm not even firing anything. It's saying error 2.
Popping up error 2.
Huh?
It's just starting with error 2, not even letting you read
Right,
anything.
right.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's automatically going to error 2. So I'm not sure what's going on with that.
Weird.
Okay. Yeah, I think it must be getting some weird light in that corner. Oy.
Thank you, Bam. I am
That's
certainly trying.
There we go.
I am not an incredibly experienced painter, but I am patient. And
You know what? That's better than me.
yeah.
I am not patient.
I used to not be patient, and then it slowly started happening, and then I compared a relatively recent paint job to one of my first paint jobs. I was like, oh, that's a difference. Just, sharp, crisper lines and all that. I want some more browning around his mouth.
Still right around that 90 to 100 FPS, which is very problematic, and I don't know what's causing the issue. I wonder.
Is your seal any better, or?
Actually, that's a good point. Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I've increased everything.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm still not getting any kind of seal.
Weird.
Yeah. It's no kind of seal whatsoever. Mm-hmm. And again, I've added Teflon tape to everything. I've increased the seals on everything. Maybe I'm still losing it in the barrel. I gotta go back to that again.
I've always wondered, and I haven't really ever asked because I don't know if it's a good question or not, but are like the layer lines of 3D print airtight? Do you know?
I mean, airtight probably not. I mean, my Lynx gets a pretty good air seal.
Okay, so because It actually might have been for the links. I saw someone selling what's it called? SLA printed turnarounds.
Turnarounds? Okay.
And you know, saying that they gave better performance.
It's possible.
So
I mean, yeah, that's very plausible.
And it could also just be a smoother surface that causes less turbulence in the air. In that case, at least. Which it's so interesting to me that immediately after the Lynx came out and became made super public, there's so many other blasters that copy a similar function.
Yeah, I had that same turnaround.
Yeah.
Side.
The same, forward located plunger, kind of thing. Interesting.
Yeah, I had to take a day off from this blaster because it was just driving me absolutely insane.
Yeah. I mean,
I just can't work on this anymore because I couldn't. I was stuck at 80 FPS for a while. I improved some of the seals and I got up to 100 FPS, but I'm still not getting any higher than 100 FPS with a 12 kilogram spring, and that shouldn't be happening. I should be getting much closer to 140 to 150.
Yeah.
It would suck. So I was really hoping to have a video out on this week, and I just haven't gotten it.
Haven't gotten it done to where you want it to. Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, I can't do a video on this right now. If I do a video on it right now, it's gonna be like, hey, I can only get this thing hitting so much, you know?
Yeah. It's like, hey, I haven't figured this thing out yet, but here's my video. That's.
I am curious. I'll have to ask Adrian about whether or not it's because it's printed in PET G. Well, no, because Quinn from CR Nerf, he also printed it in PET G. Never mind. So I know there can be differences in what you printed in. Can affect how it performs.
Interesting.
Because different tolerances for both, the amount the part shrinks and whatnot.
Bago paint. I keep losing my Bago paint.
I know that was a big problem with the zinc, to where people were trying to print it in PLA, and it just was designed to be printed in PET G. Now, it still has issues with assembly, and there's still way too much sanding that you need to do.
For the Gecko?
Oh, the zinc.
The zinc, yes. The zinc.
There's another Springer mag-fed pistol out there now?
There's a third one?
I just saw a picture of it today. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there is. It's the same guy who designed the thing we were talking about earlier.
We've talked about lots of things.
Yeah, the brass thing that you can bend in your hands.
Yeah. The guy who made the Ruffian.
Yes, the Ruffian. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, I saw that too. It's spiky.
It still utilizes brass, but
yeah,
it's at least a little bit more covered.
Yeah.
Than the Ruffian was.
My initial reaction was, hey, that looks not fun to hold on to. It's got a lot of...
You check where the seal is leaking. So I'm trying to figure out. I think somebody said something about water, but I don't know where to put it.
I mean, you could plug the barrel, stick the whole thing in water, and pull the trigger and see what happens.
Seems like a terrible idea.
It'd be interesting.
bet you it's still the barrel that's causing my issues.
I mean, if you could go through and like manually check the seal part by part, that would also...
Yeah, but how? Like, that's been recommended to me before. I'm trying to figure out, how do I do that?
Yeah.
How do I check each part? Because it's a turnaround. There's 3 holes in the turnaround. So I can't just block 2 holes at once. And then also try to... That's where my brain's having trouble trying to figure out, how do I check each part for a leak individually?
I should be better at this. I did experimental design. Yeah. Especially since, if I'm right, I looked at the build guide for the Gecko. The shell kind of perfectly but slightly inconveniently holds everything in situ. So it's hard to like get to individual parts. If I'm
exactly
right. So I'm trying to think.
Because like, here, I'll show you. Take it out. You've got your plunger tube down here. Which I probably have too tight, but I've been trying to I was trying to tighten everything to see if that improved anything. It's probably a little too tight at the moment. Yeah, probably too tight. So you've got the plunger tube. You've got the pusher in the back that goes in here. But like, I almost feel like there needs to be some kind of brass or something that goes into here that you can get a good seal from the pusher from. Because I feel like this is the weakest point. And I wonder if it's just my print quality that's the issue.
That's your... Is there an O-ring for the barrel?
On the inside? I mean, on the pusher.
Yeah. There's an O-ring for the pusher in the barrel?
No, on the pusher itself.
Yeah.
The pusher has an O-ring which goes into the 3D printed part and is supposed to seal there.
Oh, okay.
I just don't think I'm getting a good seal is the thing. I think this is where I'm losing all my air.
So what could you do? You could...
Yeah, that's my thought.
Someone's saying, Caleb Smith's saying, spray some soapy water on it in the areas you think that we're linking and it'll make bubbles. Apparently. Never tried that.
Like, do I have to do anything else, or is it just like spraying? Yeah, but even so, how would I spray? It's. I mean, if it was right here, yeah, sure, I could understand that. Or if it was around the barrel, I can understand that. But like, this thing like seats inside this piece, and I'm pretty sure that's my problem piece. So I think I might have to take a picture of my print and see what Adrian says about that. Because I've got a... Yeah.
Because the one thing I'm thinking of right now is you could resurface the places where that O-ring sits with something so it's not printed plastic. Whether it be like a CA glue or... Heck, a casting silicone, I guess you could use. Man, I'm just trying to come up with ideas. I don't know if they're doable.
This thing. I'm gonna see how much I can wrap this thing until I actually get a decent seal out of it.
Yeah, see how much pressure you can put.
I mean, just see what happens, you know?
Yeah.
Completely wrap it in Teflon tape.
Right. For anyone who's interested in painting,
nothing left.
I messed up a little bit. I started applying the gray on the bottom. Should have applied it on the top because that's where light's gonna hit and would look better that way. But I messed up. If anyone at all is interested in the painting.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
Oh,
All right,
absolutely.
I might have a decent seal on it now. That's a
All
big maybe. See how it goes. Again, if I get any kind of performance increase, I'll know. And then I can start looking at other things. Because, like I said, I'm still pretty sure that my plunger rod O-ring is too tight. But, like, I got to get at least a semi-good seal first.
Right. First round of gray. No gray. Yeah. Projectile not recorded by sensor is error 2, says Bam.
Rear sensor, actually. I did find it in the instructions.
Great.
Yeah, when it says error 2, it says not recorded by rear sensor.
And what's your opinion on the Dartzone Pro Mark II?
Mine? It's a little uncomfortable, but it's good at what it does. Like I find the grip to dig into my hand, much like what Out of Darts was saying.
Yeah.
When he was talking about it, I was glad he mentioned that because like nobody was mentioning how uncomfortable it gets after firing it for a little bit. And it's just like maybe it's just me that now darts. I'm like, oh, good, somebody else who actually does have human hands, because it really does just dig into your hand.
Yeah. Because simply to me,
like I like it.
The Zinc and the Gecko have almost like better features than the Mark II to me, but the Mark II gets more consistent and reliable performance.
As long as you don't get a lemon.
As long as you don't get a lemon.
Which some people were getting.
Yeah. So, but then if you get a lemon, well, hey, it's an excuse to mod it, right? Unless you have like a cracked plunger or something, because that's...
Right. Like I had a friend who had a problem with one of his, so he opened it up and fixed it. But he like told Dark Zone about it and like, oh hey, we'll send you another one. So now he has 2.
Hey, that's what we like to hear. I only ask that, and the internal magazine is cool, but
I'm okay with it. It's a sidearm. Like it doesn't need to be mag fed. Like I don't understand the obsession with having everything be mag fed.
Yeah, and that's a good point. As a sidearm, I might prefer the internal magazine just because then it's one less
like
thing.
Everybody
to
wants to
find a spot to put.
Everybody wants a pistol primary, and it's just like why?
Well, if you want a pistol primary, cool, but like, can we, because that's where like I'm struggling with my spamf because I really, first of all, my spamf does not get good performance. Need another ring.
I'm not too happy with my spamf either. For the for how difficult it is to prime, it should be getting way more power.
Well,
it is a very difficult prime.
Yeah. I put just for laughs, I put I think a 12 kilogram spring in my spamf, and I couldn't pull the trigger. Like the prime was okay, but I couldn't pull the trigger.
Yeah, the trigger is so uncomfortable on that one. Yeah, I will admit I'm not super pleased with the spamf.
I like it. I wish the kit from Gavin Fuzzy came with the right sized O-rings for the pusher, because that's my current problem. And I wish it was easier to holster. Because actually, to call back to a previous conversation about sidearms versus secondaries, a spamf is an amazing secondary if you can holster it. because it's especially for HVZ, because you don't, for HVZ you want it to hit that 130 mark and just hit run 130 reliably, and be very accurate. And I think the Spamp can do that, but the only magazine I have for it that I can use in a holster is a 3-round magazine.
Right.
And I'm not going to carry more magazines for my Spamp if I'm running full-length darts like I usually do for HVZ, because that's more stuff I have to carry. I'm just gonna, but I also want more than 3 shots at a time in my Spamp. So
I'll admit, I will never go back to full-length darts. I have nothing that uses them. I have no intention of ever going back to them. No, I take that back. I might have something eventually that uses them, but that's for a specific reason. But for the most part, I'm strictly half dart only.
Half dart only. I mean, I think I got my Talon mags like 2 weeks ago, so recent convert. This will be my technically 4th if you count the Super Spamp. Primary class half dart blaster. The Griffin will be.
Okay.
So, and I don't have my half dart loadout set up yet. I have the vest. I got a vest for it because, frankly, my HVZ loadout is my most watched video on my channel, and it's done. It's like a 15-minute video that I did in like 3 takes. I just ramble for however, like 20 feet from the camera. Like it's not good.
I'm still
but it's my most watched
upset.
video.
I get that completely because I'm actually still a little upset. Not really, but like it's almost annoying how well my rough cut speed reloader video was doing. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. That was a video where it's like, you know what, let's just do whatever and just do something silly.
Yeah.
And it does so well. I'm like, are you kidding me? Meanwhile, my videos on the FTEC, which I spent so much time working on, got like barely any views.
Yeah.
It's just like, you gotta be kidding me. The amount of work in those videos is not even close.
That's hilarious.
And it was driving me crazy.
Well, it's just hilarious to me because it's like, wow, that. I mean, I purposely made that video and I did a series on like building loadouts because it's something I'm interested in. But like, also not many people do loadout videos. Like, they might do one or maybe one a year, but like, there's not a lot of them. I was like, okay, niche, let's go. And the difference between that and my next most watched video is like a couple thousand views.
Yeah.
And my videos average like 200-300. And so it's kind of it's weird.
So, my friend Will, who Bam NYC, just messaged me asking me how long the delay is on comments to the video. There's about a 20-second delay, same as my live streams. Yeah. About 20 seconds. He asked a couple questions that we didn't get to. He was saying that the only way printed part doesn't have an air seal is due to under extrusion. I think we were more referring to like where the O-ring is on the part, to where it's like, obviously you're not going to have air go through the 3D printed part, but like you could have it go through the hole where the barrel is sitting in if the O-ring isn't sealing it properly.
Right. But still good to
then
know
he was
that
asking,
layer lines.
Then he was asking about the scamp, which I think you may just heard us. We were talking about the spamp.
Oh.
With F. So just to answer a couple of his questions that he had asked.
Sorry, Southerner here. Kind of talks weird on occasion.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Like, the 20-second delay is common.
Yeah.
In live streams.
Yeah, I think it's something like that. I can probably look it up somewhere, but I
counted it out earlier in the I counted it out earlier in the live stream just because I was curious if it was any different to mine, but it's not. It's still just that same 20-second delay.
So this band is one coat gray, one coat silver. This is one coat gray.
It's looking really good.
Big difference. I'm excited. I'm a little nervous about the face because I'm bad at painting eyes, and this thing has 5. Oh, and I should have been doing
them
the
a solid
lid.
color and just add a little highlight to them.
Yeah.
You don't have to go over detail with it.
All right. I got.
As my friend, the one thing that helped me with my painting was my friend told me, you don't paint for up close. You paint for tabletop.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you in the stream who've never heard that phrase, painting for tabletop basically means you're painting it so it looks good for people who are looking while standing up at a table, not standing like 2 millimeters away from it.
Yeah.
You paint for distance.
Mm-hmm. And so I picked up this stuff, which is like Lost Mod Podge, and I'm gonna go over the like mouth and eyes with it to make it sheen a little, because I'm gonna do a matte finish.
Will just message me the name of the pistol by the guy who did the Ruffian. It's called the Scamp.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, I thought he was confusing it for the mishearing us about the spam. No, he was trying to tell us something.
No, he was trying to tell us we're wrong.
Yeah.
I also just realized I haven't been painting the lid this whole time. I'll go back and do that later and just try to match it.
Oh, no. I mean, okay, so it's going to be a little... You got to try and keep it consistent because you haven't been painting it the same the whole time.
Yep.
I gotcha.
So I'm just going to do it later. Maybe I'll clear coat if we're still good to go when we're not. This is I'll do that later when I on my own time.
Yeah.
Because this paint job is taking some time, but like I said, I'm being patient with it so it actually looks good because I want this.
That's important.
Yeah, so what you're saying about painting for tabletop, yes, this is for me and for me to laugh with and giggle, but it's really to stare at my players while I'm DMing or back at the DM while I'm playing. So, we got a good 3 to 5 feet of separation at any given moment, so,
Right.
Nothing.
My DM has a death skull.
That's great.
For when one of our characters gets close to dying.
Just pass them the skull.
Great. I mean, that's what we would be doing if we were in person. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah. I've never killed a. Well, okay, I can't say that. I've only killed one player character.
And I will.
But I will. I've only ever killed one player character, and it was in a recent little game. I started DMing for a bunch of new players. And it was the character with the only interesting backstory. So I was like, you know what? He's not dead. He's just unconscious, even though that monster would have ate him right then. Because, your story has to come from somewhere, and if only one of your players gives you something to work with.
I've technically made progress. I've now gotten it up to about 115.
Hey, that's remarkable progress. That's a 15% increase. That's statistically significant.
Right? I'm just glad I'm making progress because I was stuck at 100 for a while. Oh, man.
I, too, am making progress. I am almost done with...
That's right, I was going to take apart the barrel. Yeah. That's right. So here we go, taking it apart again.
Hey. Round and round it goes.
Pretty much. Well, I didn't put an even layer of E-tape on my barrel. I think that's part of my problem as well.
Oh, yeah, so it might be sitting a little
now that
letting stuff leak out.
Now that I've gotten an increase in... Actually, before I take it apart, let me check the air seal. See if that's improved any.
What next? Let's do the mouth? Yes, let's do the mouth. Which is where I begin to improvise.
Well, still not a great air seal. Well, it's not even really a good air seal yet. So, there's no delay in the spring moving forward. Oh, it's looking really good though. The mug. That looks really nice.
Yeah, this is where I'm gonna start to improvise. Where I have a loose plan, but not a strict plan, because he's gonna. Yeah, I'm trying to copy. I really like the fifth edition Monster Manual picture of the mimic with the purple tongue with the blue bit at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to emulate that, and we're gonna see what happens. Hey, this is a new thing of paint. I did not take off the plastic. Ooh, is chat saying anything interesting? Yeah, I've got a feeling I'm going to be using halflings a lot more, especially once I get this loadout sorted. But I don't know. I like full lengths. I like big chunky blasters. So big chunky mags is fun. I also like running at enemies, so decreased accuracy is it's like I will close distance. So I will get close enough that my blaster's accurateness. I'm just gonna keep using that same brush because it works fine.
That only works in low FPS.
Yeah. So what? One of the first times I ever used my Caliburn K26 at a war was the day after End War 2019 pickup games, and we were playing like knockoff Ion Rush, and some people came by. It was a bunch of kids, me, my girlfriend, some people we had been hanging out with the weekend, and Judd, the Aussie cowboy, came up and started playing with us.
Oh, that's cool.
I had my Caliburn. He had his hammer shots. So I was playing back, trying to draw people out a little bit and kind of cover the squad. And I see him come around some cover, and so I go and I try to pop a shot at him, and I hit a little low.
Oh.
He falls over.
Yeah.
He came up laughing, and then the next round he spread it at me and shot me in the face. So we're even. But that, yeah, charging in high FPS games, I don't plan on doing it, but I also plan on having better blasters for high FPS next time I get to them. So we'll see.
Yeah, so right at 10 o'clock, I'm going to have to hop off.
Yeah, I'll probably shut the stream down around then anyway, because...
Yeah, I know that's what we had said. I just want to make sure it was like, just, at 10 o'clock, it's officially off. I have a self-imposed bedtime.
Absolutely. I'll even if if I turn off the stream, I'm probably going to stay up and finish this tonight just because I've been wanting to paint this thing for like a week and a half, 2 weeks now, and I'm finally getting to do it because I've been waiting to. I wanted to do it on a live stream as a tester live stream.
Gotcha.
I think. Do I want to start with a lighter purple and then do a darker white? I think I want to do that. Okay, so give me some white. Now we get to see how bad I am at color theory. Because this might be a surprise. I am not good at color theory.
You're not good at what?
Color theory.
Oh, okay.
mixing paint. So here.
I have the. You're still probably better than me, so. Which admittedly is not saying too much.
I mean, given that I've had to take courses on like lighting design and stuff like that, you would think I would understand color theory, but I don't. I mean, I do to an extent, but so we've got a little bit of a lavendery purple that we're gonna go on as a base coat. Getting it all up in here.
Messaging Adrian about my progress.
Mm.
The guy who designed the gecko.
Yeah.
He's been very helpful. This is like, I still remember how excited I was. I built it. I got it to work. It fired. I'm like, it looks like it's hitting a little low. Maybe, 120s, Because I mean, I'm used to hitting much higher. So like 90 FPS looks like 120,
Yeah. Yeah. Whereas I'm the other way around. It's like, oh, that's hitting like 80. It looks about 90 to 100. Because somebody of my builds are low FPS builds. Again, I'm trying to fix that. And I've been meaning to ask you because wondering, you've built one of the sealed breach kits for a Spring Thunder before?
Sealed breach kits?
You're talking about
the sniper kit?
Yes, the sniper kit. That's what it is. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's not hard. It's just, I mean, I ordered the kit and I just reprinted the pieces in my own quality. But it's just a barrel, and it's a barrel that seats into the Spring Thunder shell. So I mean, not hard. Because
I would love to get my thus unnamed lever gun to eventually hit high, and like put a sniper kit in it, and I wanted to know your thoughts on how feasible that is to do.
Your lever gun?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't the lever gun already hitting high?
I have no clue, man.
It's somewhere between 150 and 200.
Damn. Okay.
Somewhere in that range. This is
incredibly. It's pretty good.
Fingers. Priming a 12 kilogram spring with one hand is not fun.
No, it is not. I'm liking the look of this lavender.
Okay, yeah, that didn't. Okay, that's interesting now. Good to know.
I have not checked on my printer. It's fine. It's definitely not betraying me. It's going to make me mad.
See, I tend to whistle without thinking. That's my problem.
Yeah, I just talk. Which I've been told is terrifying when people don't know I'm around and they just start hearing me having a conversation. It's like, who is here? Oh, it's just me.
So he gave me a suggestion, but I wanted to send him a picture of my barrel before I glued it into place, or my turnaround before I glued it into place. Because if the turnaround is bad, then I want to reprint it without having to glue this into place.
Right. What kind of glue are you using?
E6000.
So yeah, that would be a pain to get back off. Color. I'm gonna make. Am I don't know. I need to look at a reference photo. Where's my monsters? Yes, I am that much of a nerd. I have my D&D books on hand.
It's always great when somebody has say, "Hey, did you do this?" and you have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah, it's like maybe.
I have a picture of my part, and he's like, "Oh, did you do a support roof?" I'm like, "I did support."
Oh,
Say yes,
oh,
but
yeah,
did you do a support roof?
Yeah, it's so support roof is where you like print.
It creates a flat surface. Yeah, so he was just telling me.
Yeah. All right.
And it's like,
all right, guys. How are we doing? What's the thing? Getting there? I need to bring the blue out just a little bit more. Get rid of this. Immediately better.
so the last thing, the last thing I do tonight is going to be to glue this barrel in place and check it in the morning.
Yeah. Hope that it's happy in the morning.
Right.
Oh, that looks so much better.
This smells so bad.
All right. Oh, right. That's what I decided. I don't want a detail brush. No, I'll keep using this. I do, however, want to convert more lavender. No, that's a lot of white. Oh no. It's fine, I think.
Right.
Just always add more purple. Nah, that's fine.
You can always go over white.
True. Why, if you are gonna add too much of a color, it better be white. Dude's guns.
Glue this pusher O-ring as well to keep that thing from rolling. That was the other shows. I was having issues with this thing, the O-ring rolling off of the pusher. So that's going to have to wait till tomorrow to test out some more.
Oh, I just had the perfect idea for this guy.
Oh, yeah?
Have a tavern. The tavern keeper is a mimic. And most of the like mugs and furniture and stuff are mimics. They're just getting paid better to work there than they would be if they were just like eating random people. So
That's
they're
funny.
all like friendly.
That is funny. Oh, yeah. before you go, I should show you this cool thing. But, so I have a new video that I gotta do on the XC. Somebody made some new barrels for it.
All right.
That's weird. Oh, 1 second. The rival. Oh man, why are you stuck in place? I've actually never had that happen before. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the rival or the XC, and I don't think that's why anybody should buy it. Like, I recommend it, but not for the rival. The rival is meh at best.
But Elite and Mega, it's okay?
Oh, Elite and Mega is fantastic. I'm getting over 200 FPS with Elites and about 130, 140 with Mega.
That's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I love it. I take the spring cap out when I'm not using it, just to keep it from wearing out. Anyways, this is the barrel I'm going to show off on screen here.
Here, let me make you a little bigger so the folks watching can see.
Alright, so this probably looks here. Let me get back to the stream so I can actually see what I'm looking at.
Yeah. Alright. Just make you bigger so you can see. Alright, wash and.
So, this is one of the alternative barrels that somebody made. You may notice it looks a little weird on the front, and it also has an O-ring there.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because it's designed.
Oh,
yeah,
that's too
spring thunder
cool.
shell shoved on the front of it.
That's too cool.
We've got 3 rival in it right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's awesome.
I think it's 75 FPS with 3 rival, which is not bad. So, like, I honestly see this as being really useful, as being able to, you just carry a handful of spring thunder shells. It doesn't eject them, so you keep them on you, and you just top off as you go. And it's just like that. That's just fantastic. Oh yes, and one of my favorites, the Ultra Shell.
One of everyone's favorites.
I'm just really surprised with how well it works. Like, it's honestly a great situation where it's like, if you're a situation where you have like a shielder or something, you just throw a Mega on there, or if you want to clear like a whole section, fire a shotgun blast, just throw on the rival. It's actually rather great idea. I love it.
Yeah, Alright, so I just gotta ask, because I don't have much experience with Spring Thunder shells. Can you fire the Elite barrel through the Spring Thunder shell?
No.
No, okay.
Cannot, because it's designed to work with an O-ring. So.
Oh yeah. So.
About as far in as you can get the nerf test. So no, you cannot fire through it. Now, you probably could design shells to be able. Well.
You could probably make
as long as the hole is any bigger, yeah. If the hole is smaller than the O-ring that's on the tip of the barrel here, it could work if you want to custom design your own Spring Thunder shells. I mean, but at that point, it really wouldn't be Spring Thunder compatible.
Yeah, compatible.
So, but I mean, if you wanted to do that, you absolutely could.
Interesting. Just because, yeah, that'd be really cool. That's awesome. That is.
Yeah, like when I first saw that, I'm like, okay, that's a pretty great feature right there.
Yeah.
Being able to fire Spring Thunder darts, Spring Thunder shells, and just change them out as you go.
Well, because Spring Thunder shells are such a great tool to quick change ammo types. Like Meeker, one of Meeker's earlier designs was I can't even remember what number it is, but it was a rear prime thing that had a Spring Thunder breech on the front. I was like, that's...
Yeah, the Mark 18, I think.
Sure. I don't know.
I have one. I just haven't assembled it yet because I had to source all the hardware.
Yeah. All right. Need that to dry.
Yeah. So. But I have a couple of barrels to show off on upcoming video.
Sweet. Or do I want red?
So I'll admit I've fully enjoyed this live stream because it's been one of the first times where I haven't had to engage the audience the entire time. I could actually have a conversation with somebody.
Yeah.
Which just makes live streaming so much easier.
It's nice to have someone to talk to while you live stream because then you don't feel like you're just talking into the ether.
Exactly. Especially when you only have a handful of people watching.
Yeah.
Like right now, I think we technically have one person watching because one of the people that's on there is me.
Yeah.
So there's nothing more discouraging than the end of a stream when there's like nobody on.
Yeah. You know, because everyone's like...
That was me for my CAD stream that I did. I had a handful of people. It was a very weak stream. I don't think that many people were interested in, mostly because CADing is very boring.
Yeah. Like, I've watched a few of Ed Scar's CAD streams, and it's one of those where I'm just like, oh, that's what he's making. And then I'll tune in at the end and it's like, oh, cool, he made it, and it looks cool. Great. And like...
You spend so much time working on like the same area over and over again. Yeah. So it's just like, like I understand what you do. That's why like for CAD streams, it's more about the conversation.
Yeah.
Like when you do a CAD, it's similar to the editing streams that we've done.
Yeah.
So where it's not really about the editing. It's more about, hey, let's have a chat while I do this monotonous project.
Right. Like hey, I have to do this thing. Let's chill. Like.
Pretty much. Let's
make this a little less monotonous.
Exactly. Exactly.
I missed your CAD stream, but I saw you were working on the flak.
Ballistic
right?
ball
yeah,
inline clip. Yeah. I have yet to print it because I had to fix my Prusa Mini because it had a jam in it because my Mark 3S is currently completely full with commissions.
Yeah.
And like I haven't used my Mark 3S for myself in like a month because I've been printing out commissions for because I offer local commissions through the Maryland Nerf herders, and I wasn't expecting to get much. I was expecting maybe a handful, like how we've done in the past. Hey, Blue Wolf Nerf, welcome to the live stream.
Welcome.
But then I got a commission for 2 links, 2 mistress keys. I have to print out a magpie for somebody. I'm not assembling it. I don't do magpies, but he commissioned me just to print it. So I'm like, fine.
Yeah, I'll print those parts. Yeah.
I'm not putting it together. Like you pay for the print material and the time. You got it, which is nice because I don't have to pay commissions on that because I'm not charging technically profit because I'm charging for print time and I'm charging the cost. I'm basically charging costs.
Right.
Like I'm not including any of my own time, and that's why I told my person, I'm like, I'm not doing any post processing on these pieces. So like you're not going to be paying for it. Like, cause I was trying to keep the price down for them. Like I will just print the parts and hand it to you. It is your job to sand and remove some ports and whatnot. Like I am just printing it and handing it off to you. That way I don't have any problems with licensing.
Right.
So, well, thank you, Blue Wolf. I appreciate that. He was just saying he's a big fan of both of our work.
Hey, thank you. I have fun.
It's always appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's your subscription goal for this year? Or do you have a goal?
I don't have one really. I kind of just been taking them as they come and been excited every time the number goes up by a landmark.
Hey, that's great. That's great. Like, you don't always have to have a goal for stuff like this. It can just be fun. That's probably a better way to do it.
Right. Like, I have end goal, but like, that's like 2-3 years down the line goals. But
my goal for last year was to hit 1,000 subscribers, which I technically did, even though I did a little bit of cheating. And by cheating is, I mean I did a giveaway.
Look, that is strategy, not cheating. Yeah, Blue Wolf, I would love to hit 1K. I don't know. I'm at like 470 something right now.
476 on my screen.
Yeah. So
that's about where I was at the beginning of last year.
Yeah, which I mean, for my channel's like, I want to say 10 months old.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all. Yeah, I mean, this whole YouTube thing started as hey, I am stuck at my parents' house for the summer, and if I don't constantly do things, I will drive myself up the wall. Hey, right. YouTube is a thing that exists, and then I started enjoying it, and so I've been keep doing it. I mean, my upload schedule has tanked in quantity just because of, things going back to happening, but
right. I mean, that happens. My goal has been to do at least one every week, but like this past weekend, well, really just this whole week has been really bad for me. Yeah. that's why there's not been a single video out this week, because it's like this week is just going so poorly.
Yeah. and
it's one of those weeks,
and that's where, like, between, I mean, build time and work time, that is a commodity, as well as shooting time and editing. I do a video every other week, and that schedule's working great for me so far. I mean, I wish I could.
Yeah.
Like, I want to put out more content.
Same.
But at the same time, I can't.
Because I was talking to. Actually, no. Before I go into that, I'm curious. There was a question I was thinking about. So, if you didn't do Nerf as your YouTube, what would you have done?
At the time I started there, I didn't have another hobby, because I didn't get into tabletop role-playing games until really this summer. I'd played a little, but time. And so eventually, probably a D&D channel. And actually, my girlfriend is contemplating starting one, because she's on a gap year from school and gets bored.
Yeah.
And does cool things.
I mean, that would be really fun. Like, if you get the right players for it, who are entertaining to listen to, it could be incredibly fun to watch D&D streams. I used to watch Team 4-Star do D&D streams, but like I got behind, and like each of their streams were like 3 hours long, and it's just like, I can't. I'm behind now. I'm like 12 hours behind.
Yeah, I also am so hyperactive. I constantly intake content. So audiobooks are my best friend. D&D streams are my best friend because they're long. And I like D&D streams because they're narrative, and I like a good narrative. But if you zone out for 10-20 minutes, you don't miss a lot. And if you do, it's
That's
obvious,
fair.
and you can go back.
Well, this is like Blue Wolf saying we both have really consistent we both have been really consistent with our uploads for such young channels. For yours especially, I'm incredibly impressed with how the quality you started with is really good. Because usually people start with a much lower quality from their starting point.
Yeah.
Like even me myself, like I started Nerf videos. Primarily, it was just gameplay footage. That's really all I did at the start was gameplay footage, which turned into other stuff. It took me so long to find a consistent style. It was like if you go back to my old videos, it's all over the place. Like I used to wear a suit and tie for my videos because I thought it was a fun persona type thing. It just got so tiring having to put on a suit and tie before doing videos. It just like wasn't worth the time it was putting in. It was stressing me out more than it was doing anything. So I ended up dropping that.
Yeah.
And it just, like I said, I applaud your starting point. It's a very good quality place to start.
Yeah. And part of that was I obviously I have a huge background in performance and in acting and in all of that, which is where right now I've started doing a lot of things on the online HVZ Facebook group, and people are freaking out because I'm role playing, and it's like that's what I do, and like in my like videos where I'm like hitting the targets, like I'm role playing because but I've done film work before as an actor. I've seen what how the professional version of creating video content. I know what that looks like in the execution phase, and so I mean, I'm lucky. My roommate here is actually a film student, so every now and then I'm like, hey, I'm struggling with this. How should I shoot this? How should I, and he'll help me. But
is that who you had in your Flintlock video?
No, he helped me write that script, but I didn't get him on set for that. Actually, the people in my Flintlock video are my D&D party. Minus one or two. I can't remember who all got out there. For reference, the redhead is the one who claims me as a partner. I don't know why she does, but she do.
That's what.
Yeah, and so it's, and like, I felt bad about that. I told Carney Rex I was gonna that video was coming out like 3 or 4 weeks before it did, and I kept like messaging him on Facebook. It's like, look, dude, the review's done. I just want to do this goofy thing.
Yeah, like these the barrels, the barrel pieces for the XC. I was supposed to do that. I was supposed to have that video out on Monday.
Yeah.
Like, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
How's it going, Gunderson? Thank you for the compliment. We really appreciate that. Oh, Gunderson left. Apparently, I missed that. Well, he complimented us saying that our quality is surprisingly high, which is nice.
Oh, wonderful.
And Blue Wolf Nerf asked if you were a theater kid.
Yes, indeed. I am. The version of the story that is public is I was doing musical theater and was like, hey, this would be fun to do as a profession, and then someone said, you can't sing, go dance.
Ouch.
That's not how it actually happened, but it's more entertaining to say it that way.
That is funny. And it still beats me. I can't do either.
There's a lot of things I can't do, but I can go on stage and do the fancy footwork.
As much as I would love to continue going, I actually have to go to bed.
Well, thank you so much for doing a collab. We should definitely do this again. This was a blast.
Oh, for sure. Like I said, hopefully next time I'll actually be editing during the stream like I was supposed to.
Yeah. And maybe I'll actually finish a paint job. So
all right. Thanks again for having me.
Of course.
Really appreciate it. Catch you guys next time. Boomstick out.
All right, so guys, there's a couple people left here. I'm gonna leave it up to you. I'm gonna finish up this paint job, and I will try to keep my eye on the chat, but we can call it here if you want to. Just let me know, and if everyone leaves, I'll just call it a night. Blue Wolf. You might be the last one here. I don't know. Where am I looking? You might just be saying bye. Oh no, you're still here. Okay. Just saying bye to Boomstick. Which I mean, come on, guys. He really did snag the best channel name in all of nerfing YouTube. Like, everybody loves Army of Darkness. Not gone. Okay, yes. Good. Yeah. Oh, that's so aggravating. I missed a spot right there. It's gonna bug me. That's fine. I'll just go back and hit that with something. Stuff is still wet on my palette. So yeah, guys, I should probably be talking because it's incredibly boring. For who's left, he's starting to come to life. Gosh, the teeth helped so much to get him to actually look like a thing. Yeah, I'm gonna do a couple more passes with white. Let me grab a detail brush really quick and just hit this spot, I guess, with purple. It's gonna bother me. Thank you. I love my logo too, and I don't know if you watched. I think I covered it in my Q&A video a couple weeks ago. The logo predates the channel actually as kind of a combo of an in-game logo for a unit, very, Black Knights, NPC, mercenary kind of deal, for HVZ games that I was tentatively writing at the time. And when I wanted to start a YouTube channel, it was there, and there was some lore there. So yeah. Yes. It was done by my older brother, who is a industrial designer by trade. He's a freaking wizard. We sat down with his laptop and Photoshop for like, I don't know, 10 minutes, and he spat that out, and I was like, yeah, that'll do. That's good enough. going on. For those of you who are left, can I just ask y'all to give me a little feedback on the stream? Whether the picture setup is okay. Of course, kind of a jury-rigged setup. There's nothing interesting in my background or anything. I'm just sitting in my living room. Audio okay? Was audio okay with Boomstick? I probably should have asked earlier. But any feedback y'all got? Because I really enjoyed this, and I will probably do this again. Why Nerf? Great question. So I got into so I've always made stuff. And I've always liked history, specifically war history. So making weapons or toy weapons I could fight my brothers with was always fun. And when we were young, we had Nerf blasters and all that. I got back into it because I was very interested in the prop making world and profession at the given time. This was years ago. Sweet. Welcome to whoever joined. I just saw the number went up to 4. What was I saying? Oh yes, Nerf. I was interested in prop making at the time, and I saw people like Bill Duran and Adam Savage doing really awesome paint jobs with Nerf blasters as the base for cosplays and collections and whatnot. And I'm just gonna let that guy sit and dry for a second. And so I think what was that setup? I don't know. I think it was just a random something to do on a weekend. We were bored. My girlfriend and I went and picked up a couple Nerf blasters and painted them. I think we were smart enough to take them apart before we painted them. Though that's purely conjecture. I may be completely wrong about that. We might have been idiots. And it was fun, and it got me looking into it a little bit more, and I started seeing what people in the Nerf in the modding community were doing, and that was very interesting, and still is very interesting. So I started trying it out. Thanks Blue Wolf for the thumbs up. So yeah, that's kind of why Nerf, and then I love the builds and the that side of it, of course. But also I love the war. I like going to wars. I like the physical challenges. I also I love HVZ partially because it blends what now I recognize as two things I love, which is RPG games and Nerf. But it adds that kind of role play ability into Nerf, which isn't something you get at wars, or at least usually don't get at wars. It's more about the gameplay and the win or the challenge. So yeah, there's that. I am interested in doing LARP. I don't think anyone was asked, but just because I'm thinking about it, I'm interested in doing LARP. And actually, I was looking at someone suggested Nukelanta to me, which is down in South Carolina. So it's like a 3 to 4 hour drive from me, I think. Because they're having a game. I don't know. So in a couple months, I think, beginning of the summer, kind of thing. And I might see if I can't go down to that. Be a fun weekend. Yes, I am on the second part of the lever gun, which actually I am. If I get to go to Nuclanta, that is the blaster I would love to take. You know, that and the Spring Thunder and the all the shell blasters just lend themselves so perfectly to LARP. I don't have the colors I want to print it in like full stock at the moment, so I haven't really started, but I'm printing off some of the internal bits, uh, in just like in white because I had a full thing. I'm not technically SCNC. I could try to go to their wars, but I don't know if you were here. No, I have not figured out how to print the lever guns frames. I'm probably going to try to message either Heath Pants, probably Heath Pants because he offered to help me with the Magpie when I tried to get that to work again. Um, to get his advice because they said it was Ender 3 compatible, but I'm sorry, one of those parts does not fit on the build plate. What was I saying? Oh no, I am not technically SCNC. I mostly go with the Carolina Nerf Association. I don't know if you were here when Boomstick and I were talking earlier. I very rarely get to go to games, and so going to games is kind of an on a whim. Oh hey, I have the Saturday free kind of thing. Rather than the I get to plan and count on going and can get up early enough in the morning for a 4 hour car drive. But no, I am on the southeastern seaboard, so it's relatively close. CNC is doable. Oh, you're supposed to print it at like a double 45. That is okay. What side do you put down? Do you put the opening down, or do you put the like the roof? That doesn't seem great. This guy is coming together great. I dinged. Why did I ding? Did someone text me? Probably got a text. Yes. That was me, mum. Supposedly. Okay. That might be one of the last parts I print. Just because I'll ask for some help because I don't know. I'm really happy with the way this guy's turning out. His teeth are nice and gross. I guess I have to do his eyes now. I don't like painting eyes. Eyes are not easy. That's the wrong color. That's the color I want. Thanks. Yeah, we'll see. I was flipping through the files today and just like my eyes were just glazing over. It's like I don't know how to. This is the most complicated thing I've ever looked into building. I'm sure as I'll get it together, I'll figure it out. But like, whew. Might ask Boomstick if he would do a joint stream like this as we put ours together because he's got an older beta one that he's gonna reprint and rebuild. Eyes. Let's use a small brush and get some fresh. Do I want to put gunk in his eyes or do I want to leave it? Nah, I want to leave him. Do I want to leave him white? Think on it. I can. Yeah, I was just throwing some parts in my slicer, picking around, and I started manipulating that one and was like, there's no, yes, please, okay, it's a beta test. I understand if there's not build instructions, but some print guidelines would be nice, especially for me who tends to overuse infill density. I always print things that are ridiculously dense. Where is my black? There's my black. Just out of wanting things to last more than a year. Like most of my Caliburn is actually printed at 100% infill. This is one of my first projects. Right after I got my printer, I was given that. I think I got that hardware kit for Christmas, maybe the same year. And yeah, that thing is hefty. Yeah, like, and what are the critical, yeah, and so like right now I'm printing like the catch mechanism, so I'm printing that at 100% infill because that's the last thing I want to break, but it will probably be the first thing to break because it's a load bearing thing, All right, so here's my question. This guy has these two main eyes, and I might wait for y'all's response. These two main eyes. Should I have his eyes crossed? I built my Caliburn. I got the hardware kit just off of Captain Slug's Etsy. It's I guess what's now the classic Caliburn, the pre U channel Caliburn. Yeah, so the hardware was just on Captain Slug's Etsy. Support the designer and all of that. Yeah. I don't know if I want his eyes crossed. No, I'm gonna go. Okay. We'll cross his eyes. Really? Am I gonna do this? I mean, it is a gag. It is a gag item. Okay. It's not a crazy cross, but it's there. Kind of looks like he's just walking. Okay, that didn't end up being too much of a cross. It's more just like he's squinting out of one eye. I will put this pupil like here. Sure. I don't know. This one will be kind of whacked over. He has pupils. Yay. Nope. I want which is over here and gone. Purple. Just darken this up a little bit. Tad more bit of. Need a bit more of that. Chat is doing things. Maybe. I'm spending most of my summer in Pittsburgh this year. Doing a training thing in Pittsburgh. So we'll see. it'll come down to basically, can I get away for the weekend? I would love to. I would absolutely love to make it to Endwart. Sorry to clarify which question. Yeah, I for so many reasons need COVID to die down. I mean, so many reasons. I'm optimistic. It seems like the vaccine rollout's going pretty well here in the States, and you know, there's the huge joke right now about I Am Legend, and I mean that doesn't seem to be happening, so that's a little reassuring. Yeah. If Inward's at Penn State like it was supposed to be, I think there's a good chance I can make it. I might not make it to FoamCon, but I might be able to make it for the game. Which, you know, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. It'd be nice to go to FoamCon. Alright, I don't know if y'all can see how his eyes are shaping up, but I just threw a little color in there. I'm gonna go back through just lighter, slightly lighter purple. And then I think I'm almost done with this guy. I gotta do the lid, but I might do that like tomorrow when I want something to do. But tomorrow is looking to be full. Oh, almost dropped him, but I didn't. Eyes. I'm kind of happy with that. I mean, they're not the cleanest eyes ever, but then again, it is a mimic, so who really cares? Okay. I need to sit back for a second. Avert my eyes so I can see it clearly. So I can see him clearly. Him. Probably gonna turn this guy into a recurring NPC in my D&D games. Should probably figure out a name and such for him. But I'm pretty happy with that. The metal might be a little darker than I would like. To be continued. Dun, dun, dun. I don't know. I'm just trying to take a step back and look at it. I think I want to. Do I? I don't know. I might make the metal a little bit darker. I like the way the wood has come out. I might, again, go back through there. Because my last 2 steps are to clear coat and then go through with some Mod Podge and make the eyes and mouth and stuff shiny. But I would love to finish the paint job before I did that. Well, I guess I don't have to. I can always add layers, especially as it wears. I don't know. I'm sure all that my finger drumming is coming right through there. Yeah. So quite literally, to be continued, as I have a completely different one that I need to paint sometime. So yeah, who knows? It's 10:30. I think I'm gonna call the stream there, guys. I think we've had a pretty good, surprisingly good, low problem test stream. which is what this was. This was a test live stream for me on YouTube, and yeah, we will. I'll post a picture of the finished version of this guy on my Instagram, so you all can see that. And yeah, this will go up as a VOD on my YouTube channel. So if you're still here, and you have any changes you would suggest, or what you liked about the stream, let me know in that comment section. And I think right here we're gonna call it a night. So good night, y'all. I'll